Megalopolis is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and it is set in an imagined modern United States, and it follows visionary architect Cesar Catalina Adam Driver as he clashes with the corrupt mayor Franklyn Cicero, played by Giancarlo Esposito, in determining how to rebuild the metropolis of New Rome after a devastating disaster. The film references the characters involved in the Catalanian, I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that name, conspiracy of 63 BC, including Catiline and Cicero, in addition to Caesar. So this movie is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and if you don't know who that is, he directed all of the Godfather movies. Like, yeah, The Godfather. And he also directed Apocalypse Now. Those are just examples, some examples of movies that he's directed. And I remember when I watched the trailer for this film, all I could think was in my mind, like, this movie looks cinematic, there's a lot of there's a lot of architectural like designs. It just looks cinematic. It looks astonishing, beautiful, fresh, and breathtaking. I gotta see this movie. And it's directed by the man who directed The Godfather and Apocalypse. Of course, I gotta see this movie. Hell yeah, I gotta see this movie in theaters. And then the trailer came out, and like I said, when the trailer came out, but also I remember there was like, I read an article or two that there were some fake, I don't know if they were fake, correct me if I'm wrong, let me actually see, da, 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 da. Yeah, there was like some marketing like controversy. There was some marketing controversy. Yeah, there were some quotes that from the trailer, referring to the misconduct allegations against Coppola, and the trailer removed over its use of fake quotes that mentioned the film's, they mentioned that the film's blockbusters cast was no guarantee of audience interests, and there was just a lot of not a lot of negativity. There's a lot of negative comments and commentary that they had to take down, and by they I believe it has to be either Francis or Lionsgate. But I was like, whoa, that I was taken aback by it, and then the reviews came out for this film. And this movie polarized a lot of critics. Like, people are split, ladies and gentlemen. People are split with this movie. And not in a good way. I just checked, like, it has right now, as I'm recording this video, it has a 49% rotten critic score, and it has a 42% audience score, the popcorn meter. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, people don't like this movie, and I don't understand why. Because for me, I listen, I get it, everything's subjective. Everything's subjective. We see things in our own ways, but for me, I love this movie. I'm not joking. Like, I love this movie. Like, it's futuristic. Like I said, like, everything that I said about the trailer is what the movie is what the entire movie is. Like, it's beautiful, it's fresh, it's breathtaking, I felt like I was watching a Roman, like, I don't know, like a William Shakespeare Roman Catholic, theater play. That's what I felt like. That's what it felt like. And I was just taken aback by it. It was astonishing. It was astounding. The acting was amazing. I read like some reviews, like I read some reviews, and I'm like, I don't understand people. I don't understand why people don't like this movie. Why people like really don't love this movie. I love the direction. Holy shit, Francis Ford Coppola, the way he uses the camera lens, like it, it's kind of like it's hard to describe. It's kind of like the James Bond camera lens. Camera lens, you know what I'm talking about. I call it the James Bond camera lens. But like the fade-ins and like it's amazing. Like the editing is great. I love the editing. I love the direction from him. It's this movie is great. And I looked this movie up. Like after I saw this movie, like I want to know more about this movie, and I want to know about all the hard work that went into this movie. And I can't believe, ladies and gentlemen, that this movie was in development for decades. Megalopolis came from Coppola's desire to make a film, drawing parallels between the fall of Rome and the future of the United States by setting the events of the Catalanarian, I'm mispronouncing that name, conspiracy in modern New York City. He conceived the idea for the film and back in 1977, and actively started developing it in 1983 by assembling notes for a future script. Preparations for a film based around his initial concept came together in 1989 to be shot in Rome, but it was postponed after Coppola prioritized other projects to pay his debt to Hollywood after a string of box office disappointments. And then Coppola, came back and revived the whole project in 2001, holding table reads with prominent actors in New York. But then, the whole 9/11 attacks happened, and which, the events of 9/11, the horrible events that happened in 9/11, resembled the film's plot and themes. And because of that, Megalopolis was abandoned once again. This project was abandoned because of that, because of 9/11. And then, having become disheartening, working for the studio system, Coppola soon after declared his intentions to self-finance the project if it ever came to fruition. And this is something I found out, and I think you guys should definitely take a note about this. Check this out. Like, Coppola announced his return to the film in 2019. That's right, like 2001, 2019. That's a huge gap. 2001, 2019. 2 years later, he sold a portion of his winery in California to spend $120 million of his own money to fund the film. After a delay caused by the COVID pandemic, casting went underway by 2021. And the film reunited Coppola with past collaborators, including actors like Esposito and Lawrence Fishburne, for example, and the cinematographer whose name I don't want to butcher the name, but yeah, a lot of people, and the composer too. Yeah, Coppola has a very interesting, his direction for this film is very interesting. It's a very interesting directing that he adopted. Coppola adopted an experimental style that permitted improvisation during the shoot by letting actors write scenes and himself make spontaneous changes to the script. These methods proved divisive, leading to the resignation of the art department and visual effects teams, among others, and raising comparisons to Coppola's history of challenging productions. But yeah, this movie like polarized critics. Some people love, love, you know, Coppola's, enthusiasm and his experimenting direction style. Some other people, don't really understand. Listen, in the film, so yeah, yeah. In the run up, here it is. In the run up of to the release, a trailer was removed for using fabricated pull quotes and allegations of on-set misconduct that were made against Coppola, for which he filed a lawsuit against Variety for publicizing them. But yeah, that was what I was talking about earlier in the video. The trailer and the fabricated quotes, the quotes that weren't talking about the movie. That was talking about, they were just aiming and targeting Francis Ford Coppola and his work, his misconduct and creative differences and all that. But anyway, yeah, just a lot of horrible things. But anyway, yeah, listen, I can understand I can understand if you guys don't like this movie, because it's like it's very Megalopolis. This film is very thought-provoking. It's a very thought-provoking film. It raises a lot of questions, and it makes you ask a lot of questions, even maybe more questions than before, and I can understand that. I don't know if this movie, like, the box office, excuse me, the budget is 120 million. I don't know. It has a 700, I don't know anything about box office and budget. What's considered to be a box office bomb. But listen, I always thought, like, I don't really understand how box office money works. I always thought, if the box office money is larger than the budget, then that means but I guess there's like some math involved there, like some traction involved there. But yeah, I don't know if this film is going to get back its money. I don't think it's going to make it. I think it might be a box office bomb. Like I saw this movie last night, and no one saw it. Everyone was going to see The Wild Robot. And by the way, The Wild Robot, I'm hearing like astounding reviews about The Wild Robot. Cannot wait for The Wild Robot. I'm going to be seeing it later. But anyway, everyone was watching that was aiming towards that movie, was going to go to see that movie than Megalopolis. But for me, I really I saw this movie last night, and dude, there was like me, 2, 3, 4. There was probably like 5 people in the auditorium, ladies and gentlemen. No, wait, like there might be like 4. There might be like 4 people. There was a man sitting like in front of me, and then there was like a 2 couple, I think, that was sitting like way in like the front of the auditorium. That's it. I think there might be 1 or 2 people sitting way behind me, but that's it. But yeah, there was like empty seats around me, but there was like a lot of empty seats around me because everyone was going to see The Wild Robot, which I'm assuming. And listen, this movie, I can understand. Like, it's very thought-provoking. It can make after this movie ends, I can see why people don't like this movie, because it's very thought-provoking and it will leave you bewildered. It will leave you confused. After this movie ends, you're going to be like, what the hell did I just watch? What was that? That was stupid. I don't understand. I don't get it. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what you might be, saying to yourself after you watch this movie. The guy in front of me, by the way, he got up and he left. Like, he didn't come back. He didn't come back. He just got up and left. I don't know if he didn't. Maybe it's because he didn't understand what was going on. Maybe he didn't fully understand and grasp what the movie was trying to explain and what was happening in the movie. But I stayed for the whole 2 hours and what? How long is the movie? 2 hours and 12 minutes? I stayed for the whole movie because I was just wrapped up. I was on the edge of my seat, just really consuming what is being fed to me on screen. And I don't think any movie besides The Substance has ever, not even Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine, I had a great time with Deadpool and Wolverine. I had a blast. I really enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine. Get the fuck out of here. If you think Deadpool and Wolverine is the best movie of 2024, get the fuck out of here. I can name, Alien Romulus is a better movie than Deadpool and Wolverine. Alright? Twisters is better than Deadpool and Wolverine. Beetlejuice is better than Deadpool and Wolverine. Even this movie, Megalopolis, which a lot of people really didn't understand, I think this movie is way better than Deadpool and Wolverine. I said it. I said it. I had a great time. I had a blast with Deadpool and Wolverine, but that was just nostalgia and fan service and cameos. Just like Spider-Man No Way Home. Just like, some of Avengers Endgame. It was just the same energy. The same repetitive energy. And if you take that all away, the movie Deadpool and Wolverine isn't really that good. The script, the story is very limited. And I don't it's not good. Top Gun Maverick, even though that movie didn't come out this year, didn't come out this year, I think Top Gun Maverick is better than Deadpool and Wolverine. It's amazing. I was just after this movie was finished and was over, I did not immediately get up my seat and walk out. After the movie was finished and the credits started rolling, I didn't immediately jump up and get out. I was just sitting in my seat and my brain was processing the beauty of Francis Ford Coppola. And I love that this was his idea. He wanted to do this movie for decades. And now it's finally a reality. His dream that he's been developing for decades. I think it was in the 70s, the late 1970s, and now it's 2024. So I think Megalopolis might be the best movie of 2024 for me. I love The Substance. I enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine. I love The Substance. But I don't know. There's just something. Okay, I will say this. I didn't like I don't really give a fuck about the romantic, love triangle between Adam Driver, Aubrey Plaza, and Natalie. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Natalie Emmanuel. I don't really care about the three love triangle. And by the way, Shia LaBeouf, what the fuck? His character in this movie, what the fuck? I was I saw the trailer and his name was listed to be part of this movie, and I totally forgot. Like, and then I saw this movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was reminded that, yeah, Shia LaBeouf, who I haven't seen Shia LaBeouf in, like, I feel like I haven't seen Shia LaBeouf in decades. I'm glad that he's still acting, and popping up here and there. But yeah, like, yeah, I could do away with the love, the romantic side of it, but dude, like, the editing, the direction, the stunning visuals. Oh my God, it's just beautiful. Like, the way Francis Ford Coppola is, like, able to, like, the camera lenses, the music is, the score. It's just, it's not loud, it's not cinematic, it's not Hans Zimmer, but it's like, it fits for this movie, for this type of movie. I don't know, like, wow. And this, the theme, like, of Rome, and I wasn't bored. I wasn't, okay, like, maybe I could understand why critics and audience didn't like it, because it'll leave you confused, bewildered, making you ask questions and raise even more questions, like I said before. Sure. But for me, this is hands down, like, the best movie of 2024. I don't give a fuck about the Rotten Tomato scores, how the critics, the movie's polarized, the marketing, the trailer getting removed, the allegations, the creative differences, everything going on in production. For me, I don't think this movie. I think this movie might be a box office bomb. Because, like, the budget is $120 million, and it only got $770 million, right? No, wait, no. I'm looking at it wrong. The budget is The budget is $120 million. That's how much money Francis spent to making this movie. And it only got 770,000. No, I can't do math, man. 100,000. 77, whatever. So, anyway, I can't do math. I can't do math. Oh. No, it's not 770. Oh my God. $770,000. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Megalopolis. But yeah, like my point is, I'm sorry about that. I completely lost all of you. I'm terrible with math. You can tell I'm terrible. You can tell, like, I'm terrible with math, right? I try to look it up. I can't pull it up. But anyway, my point is, I'm sorry, I lost you guys. I'm sorry, I pretty much lost you guys for a moment there. But yeah, my point is, I don't think this movie is gonna get its money back. I don't think Francis and Lionsgate are going to be able to get their money back. I think that this movie might be a box office bomb. I really don't want it to be. But yeah, after everything, I don't think it's gonna get its money back. But anyway, this movie Megalopolis is by far a very unique and different, and probably the best movie of 2024. I can see myself watching this. I can honestly I'm not joking. Like, I can see myself watching this movie over and over again and just really taking it all in. There were some scenes, sure. I felt like this movie could have been like a couple minutes. Um, I felt like this movie could have been a couple minutes cut down. Maybe like 18, 20 minutes. I felt like this movie could have been cut down like to like maybe could have cut like 18 to 20 minutes of the runtime, but that's pretty much it. Like I love everything else. Like it's amazing. It's amazing and astounding. Probably the best movie that I've seen of 2024. It gave me everything. There is a bit of humor. There is humor. There is like cinematic masterpiece. This is by far Francis Ford like it's been it feels like a decade. It feels like a decade. It feels like decades since I've seen since I've watched Apocalypse Now and The Godfather, but I gotta rewatch, those movies and really take it all in. But I think for now, I'm gonna say Megalopolis might be Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece. But then again, I haven't seen The Godfather in ages. I haven't seen Apocalypse Now in ages, So I gotta refresh my memory and really rewatch those movies and before I make like a final statement. But I think this is his masterpiece. It's got everything that it's got everything. It's got everything. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time to listening to my review. I apologize. Again, I apologize for the whole box office and budget money. I was trying to look it up, but I was unable to pull up the money, and I was like blinking out for a moment there. I was gonna look it up, but I was like, I was unable to pull it up. But anyway, thank you so much for taking time to listening to my review. Please, let me know what you thought about Megalopolis. I'm sure you guys, probably, thought this movie. I'm pretty sure most of you guys might not like this movie, but for me, I see it in a very different perspective. I see it as Francis' masterpiece, his masterpiece. Um, and it's beautiful. It's astounding. And I love it. I love it. And it's got a very 2000, like a futuristic 2000. Even the poster looks very 2000, like mid to like late 2000 vibes. I don't know. It gave me a lot. But yeah, it gave me a lot of those vibes. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this movie is pretty divisive. This movie is pretty divisive towards people, critics, and audience alike. But yeah, it's pretty divisive. Mostly negative than positive. For me, I see it as a masterpiece. Probably the masterpiece of 2024. But there's only a few months left. There's only a few months left. And there's a few months left. There's several weeks left of the year. So we'll see. We'll see if there might be another movie that could replace this movie. But for now, I see this as a masterpiece. I love this movie. I love it. Thank you so much, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, because when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'd be helping me out by a ton, and it would really mean a lot to me. I would really appreciate that if you do that, because you would be part of my community. You would be part of my family, and as a family, as a community, we would very much like to welcome you. I would very much like to welcome you on board. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.